Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another session of No Man's Sky. I took a week off because apparently I got sick. What I thought at first was kind of a flu slash pneumonia. Well, it was kind of that, but or the beginning of one. As soon as I got over it, I was hit with um, food poisoning. Pretty nasty too. But I'm over that, so we are back in the seat again. Ah, Dr. Pepper. So this evening, I'm going to see how long I can go due to missing last week. Um, and we shall see how far we get. I have no plans, no itineraries, no agendas. I'm just going to explore and follow the leads where it may take me. I have a ship. I just need a star to guide by. Alright, so we are back into the Wagon Queen family truckster. And let's see where we are wanting to go. Alright, so we're locating a long distance transmitter. So let's jump in the chair and let's see any of the planets have what we're looking for. Okay, that's a space station. And I'll come to a complete stop because I am not hearing anything, which has me a little bit concerned. Options. General. We're gonna up. I don't know why I upped the voices because there's really not any voices other than alien grunts. Alright, so we've got this planet here. Let's go down and say hi. Isn't exactly where I'm wanting to go, but I figure, why not? Oh, that would be bad. Like a bug on a windshield. Okay. Let's see what we got here. What planet are we on? I suppose we should find a place to land. I strongly recommend using mods when playing this game. Just quality of life stuff, nothing too major. For instance, I am using a mod that allows me to come to a complete stop when I am on a planet. I always thought it was stupid how you can't do that. You have a ship that is capable of traveling between the stars, warping to other systems, and um, but you can't come to a complete stop while in midair, while on a planet. And yeah, I know people are going to say, well, that's aerodynamics. That's how ships work. Um, no, this is a game, and part of playing a computer game is to escape reality. It's one of the reasons why Starfield was not well received. It mimicked real life in the sense that there was no other intelligent life in the entire galaxy. And we won't go into all the other, you know, problems with the game. You know, the lack of like. I'm not saying it was completely lacking, but there was a strong lack of curated locations. Whereas like um, Skyrim, um, is just you there's a sense of wonder and discovery um, when you're traveling around. You want to see what ruins and ooh, uh, structures and wonders and so forth you can find over that hill or that mountain and Starfield didn't have that. But I digress. Um, and I know this game is kind of lacking, in curated, but the thing with both of these is that this game is not um, intended to be. It's an exploration game with in my opinion, with a narration um, put in to kind of help propel you forwards in your exploration. Whereas Starfield, um, it was the narration and then the exploration. It like Skyrim. You had all these miniature, these subquests you could take, and and the story, ow, the story came first. And this story kind of propelled you along to explore, and then you're out, you're wandering, you're looking, and you find a subquest here, and you find a subquest there, and I am in the middle of a firestorm. That is not good. And so with this game, it's primarily exploration. Okay, do I have? No, I don't. Can I make one? I'm sorry, I'm having a squirrel moment. But let's see, amino chamber. I don't think I have one. I don't even think I can make one. Um, yeah. Nope. All right. So with this game, it's all about exploration. You find out what is on the other side of that hill. Um, and it works, in my opinion. not to go Todd Howard on my statement. Um, but the game, yeah, it as he says, it just works. Um, so that's my take on the game. It's exploration first, story second, but at least they've put in enough to make the game engaging plot wise. Um, Starbound. Oh, uh, that was a fun game until it wasn't. Um, Chucklefish stopped, in my opinion, too soon. They said, okay, well, it's in a working state. We'll call it a day and move on to the next. And if anyone's watching this who decide to develop a game on their own, don't just rely upon the audience to further develop your game and develop the story and just no. It, encourage it, yes, but don't don't say, okay, it is now up to you to finish what we started. Um, because that kind of becomes a cop out. Starbound had a lot going for it, and and Chucklefish they just stopped. They stopped developing it. What we're seeing here, uh, is it? I don't know. Okay, no. I am attacking a freighter. I don't want to do that. I'm sorry. There's what it is there are freighters that you can find that are damaged. Why is no one attacking me? And and then you have freighters that are still functioning. And let's see. No, this is okay. Well, that seems to be okay. Um, Usually, if you attack a friendly freighter, um, you will get attacked. You'll get like ships coming after you, and it's just kind of strange how I'm not getting any ships coming after me. But Starbound uh, began as people likened it to Terraria in space. And Terraria was described as a two-dimensional Minecraft. So you kind of get a little bit of a genealogy, I guess. But after after Chucklefish hit 1.0 with Starbound, and they didn't include a lot of what they said they were planning on. Um, they called it a day. They said, okay, we're done. It's now up to the audience to continue on. And admittedly, you've got like mods that like just had like a lot of depth into the game. Um, the one I've been using extensively has been the Fracking Universe. Uh, but you don't leave it up to the audience to fix your game. You don't leave it up to the audience to further develop your game. Um, because it's kind of insulting to the player base, honestly, in my opinion. Um, case in point, going back to Terraria, it is still being developed. Um, as far as I know, if not, then it it had a very long development period. I mean, just they they were always adding content into it. Um, Years after, I think his name is Concerned Ape. He goes by. I could be wrong. Um, no, that's not right. I think Concerned Ape is Stardew Valley. Um, but the main developer of Terraria still added content long after the game hit its full release, and it's still, to me, is still very much a favorite. Um, because there's always something new to discover. Okay, I am trying to find. Okay, I'm trying to find a long distance transmitter, and I'm not finding it. Okay, let's see how many planets. Two. So we found both of those. Okay, so now we've got to find where we want to go. I'm checking various vitals. Uh, okay, let's do this. Hyperdrive. Okay. Uh, okay, that is. And it's still powered, so. Ooh, that looks interesting. This game, they're still adding content to this game. They have been for years. And not like just little throw you a bone type stuff. It's not like, the horse armor on Oblivion. Uh, they add game changing content. The Corvette. Um, for the longest time, they didn't have the Corvette, and or any ability to customize your ship. You can build a ship when at a station, like one of those little fighters, but once it's built, you can't go back and change it without using uh, some type of third-party program or a mod. And I don't even think there are mods that allow you to change. Um, but then they have Corvettes. They added Corvettes where you can go back and you can completely alter the layout of your ship. I mean, right now I'm using the bare bones minimum, but people have created some pretty intense and just fantastic ships. You know, one guy created it's not full scale, but visually speaking, he created a star destroyer, um, which I thought was pretty cool. And just you go and you visit the Nexus. It's the hub of the multiplayer experience, and you just sit there and you people watch, and there are Corvettes coming in and out of that place all the time, and just most of them are just works of art. That came from one of the updates to the game. They added freighters. Eventually, you can find a freighter being attacked, and you successfully defend it. Um, they'll join you. So you have kind of like this mobile hub, and that was a game changer. That came from a an update, and so forth and so on. And updates will add lore to the game. That didn't sound good. I hope I'm not gonna get pecked to death by a giant chicken. Um, it was a sleeper reference, by the way. So they really treated this game with a lot of love, and I've forgotten my point in this little conversation. Um, Other than if you're developing a game, once you hit 1.0, don't just abandon the game. People people will look at you funny from that point on. And it's not they won't trust you; it's just they won't trust you as much. Oh, I do not want to do a scavenger hunt. So, a game I've kind of gotten into with my roommate is Raft. I know it's a bit late to the party, but whatever. It's a fun game. Uh, it's not a unique premise. I mean, you've had like ocean survival games before that. You had like Subnautica. I forgot the name of another one where it puts you on a series of deserted islands. Another game that they abandoned before any conclusion to the story. Spoiler alert: you never get rescued because they never did add that aspect into the game. But there was one game where it starts off I'm not talking about the forest and Sons of the Forest. It was a game where your plane goes down. You're on a commercial plane and it goes down, and you you begin the game with only a raft. A raft, well, one of those survival rafts, the rubber inflatables, and a an island. And I think the idea was try to find rescue, and they only got as far as um, you find an island or series of islands, um, and then they just went, hey, yeah, we're done. I don't know if that's because they went out of business, which seen it happen, um, or what. But the raft, they updated it in terms of chapters. You know, you have a series of locations. You know, you have to visit with each chapter, and it has a lot of neat aspects to it. Um, you know, I wasn't so fond with its ecological disaster subplot or overarching storyline. Um, I felt that was a bit too heavy-handed with its environmental message. Um, the game Eco kind of does the same thing, but Eco is more kid-gloved in its message because it's the ecological damage is caused slowly over time. Um, anyway, with Raft, the main plot is that there is a massive ecological um, disaster. So the entire planet's flooded, and you begin on a 2x2 wooden raft. And gameplay from easy mode up, you have to contend with a shark that will, if you're not successful in fending it off, will eat your raft. Will literally take a chunk out of it, and then eventually you could add metal to your raft parts to kind of keep that from happening. But initially, you have to either rebuild or repair. I am lost. Hooray! Oh wait, that could be an exit. Um, and of course it's blocked by these little turds. So, I mean, I can understand, I mean, I don't know if they use that as just kind of like an excuse to have the world like flooded. Subnautica, you are on a planet that it's a water world. Um, Raft, it's Earth, but as I said, it's a ecological disaster that's flooded the entire planet. We haven't seen that actually happen yet in real life, thank God. But like I said, just for my taste, it's a little bit heavy-handed. I'm not against, ecological messages, you know, um, kind of political messages in my games, but I don't want my face rubbed in it. But overall, Raft is a fun game, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it immensely. It has a surprisingly deep construction um, with it in its crafting system. Um, so yeah, and if there you go. If anyone's watching and want me to, I'll play that over live stream. Um, but yeah, I love how like you have like these plants here, like the impulse bean and all sorts of different plants. They're just across the entire galaxy. That's right. Yeah? I dug up your planet. What you gonna do about it, huh? Huh? Alright. I gotta find my ship. Island in the sky. Uh, I think one of the reasons why I got so sick was I was having like a week's worth of insomnia. That's always fun. I mean, it was pretty bad. I would get like maximum like 30 minutes sleep in one day. But I'm doing much better. I love this. We need to find a transmitter tower. You start just piddling around on some random planet. Alright, what's this? This is... Ooh, this is good. We can use this. That's one way of getting rid of the harmful plants. I don't understand why you use a more powerful beam, you get no resource. Okay. Back to the ship. There it is. Goofy little critters. Okay, and let's learn a new word. I have learned the word the. So I can now conjugate that, I guess. Okay, ship. Here we go. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry that I kind of muttered to myself. Wrong location. Okay, let's see. There it is. That's what I'm needing. Okay. The sort of person that'll get lost in a round room with no corners. Okay. Ah, here we go. Alright. Add this to my little network. Well, that was alarming. Alright, so that means we can jump to this system anytime we need to. or want to. Alright, let's see what they have to sell. Not what I needed. Oh well. We can come back to it when we need to. Every station has a set of NPCs you could talk to. I would suggest holding off doing that until you learn enough about their language to effectively communicate with them. Because you only get one round with them. I mean, unless you like find a mod or program that allows you to reset who you've spoken with. You talk to them that one time, and that's it. You don't learn any more from them. You don't get any rewards from them. Um, so if you fail to meet a criteria that they require, eh, oh well. And I know people are out there, they'll say, well, there's like NPCs all across the galaxy, and there's more planets in a galaxy than the player base would ever explore. Well, that's the principle of the matter. At least that's my take. Alright. Okay, no. Okay, I am trying to find a mod for my ship. I might have to go to the Nexus to get it. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go to the Nexus. It's not a bad thing to do. It's just it's annoying because it just kind of lags the game down. It's like I'm driving around with the trunk open in my car. Alright. I'm sure someone has, but I keep wondering if someone's made the Tantive 4 or the Millennium Falcon in this game. That's something I've noticed. If you have contraband, don't store it in your ship's inventory. Store it in these cargo holds you can add into your ship. Because if your ship is ever scanned, uh, they don't they don't pick those up, um, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, and I'm checking something right quick. Oh, that's okay. Ah, I went too far. I find these a little bit annoying because you have to repair them, typically to get them to work. So that means, yeah, I might have to hunt resources. Alright, and what these things usually give, they're renewable. After some time, you can come back here, and all these that I've just accessed, they will have regenerated. Alright, and do my little thing here. As I stated, I tend to jot down notes for later. I don't know why. I guess I kind of wonder if I'll like say post these locations out somewhere. Okay, there's a transmission tower. The game gets more in depth later. You, like I said, you end up encountering a freighter that you can take in. Like if you rescue it, it's tends to be easy to do. Um, there is there's a settlement you can gain control over, um, which can net you resources and money. It's not that way. And you can later on you can staff one of your outposts. It's pretty good. Okay. Well, that was easy. I always hated this quest. Because it's just, I don't know. It's just, I've always found it kind of annoying. But that's just me. Alright. It's not too bad. Excuse me. Okay, so... Oh yes, this is why it annoyed me. Because you have to visit multiple planets. But again, the storyline is okay this way. The storyline is just it's kind of giving you a reason to explore. Uh, which admittedly I think is a neat idea. Um, I don't know why I keep losing sight of my ship. It's right there in the sky. Um, let's see. I'll go after this first. But it's not so much forcing you. I mean, you don't actually have to follow the storyline. It's just you lose out on a lot of the content, I should say. Um, and the building progression, that really worked. Kind of goes hand in hand with the plot line. You know, it's like I said, how um, learning the game becomes part of the story as opposed to, um, a game just saying, okay, here's how you play, have fun. Um, like dealing with the settlement later, that becomes kind of a sub quest, and you learn the mechanics about working the what is that? Working the settlement by doing the quests. It's I likened it to Portal, or Portal teaches you the game by playing the game. Ooh, I know what that is. That is a crashed freighter, folks. Now, let's see if I can get to my ship. One of the things I like about this game is you can fine-tune how the game behaves. Right now, I am running out of breath. I'm like a couch potato running a marathon. I could turn that off. I can give myself infinite running capability. It won't, at least not with this. I'm trying to stay true to the game. Okay, so. Okay, it's over here, if I remember correctly. There's that. What I'm looking for is a downed freighter. There it is. A downed freighter. These can hold some pretty decent loot. Okay. Just store all the unneeded. Get that in there. Okay. We're going on an adventure. This is what happens when you slam your Star Destroyer into a planet. Let's see what this says. Black holes in this game are not like evil singularities that just suck everything up. They're actually wormholes. Excuse me. No other explanations. Huh. Some of these you can keep accessing and gain more and more information. If you find a like a temple, um, if you cut out, you don't actually go through the what is it? Uh, I guess I don't want to say a quest, but like they'll ask the puzzle. I think they call them. If you don't go through the puzzle, you in the conversation before you like commit to the puzzle, you access the temple's terminal again. It'll give you the continuation of that story, and typically it's like an origin story for that race. So out of one temple, you can learn everything you want to know, uh, like the backstory of a particular race. And I always thought that was kind of a neat little exploit for those who are active lore hunters. Okay, and does this have any boxes in it? Yes, it does. I guess I'm gonna have to dig for my supper. Alright. Always thought it was weird how you have like these ships that'll like spawn in, and none of them will actually investigate this. The sound is still too soft. And I'm hoping I'm not like botching this recording. What's neat about these though is that, and if you ever have to excavate a ruin, your terrain manipulator used to excavate can be recharged using silicon, which you gain by using the terrain manipulator and excavating. So the more you uncover, uh, the more it allows you to uncover. I like the fact that it doesn't like close off your ability um, to dig, because very material you're digging is what you're using to fuel your shovel. Okay, let's see. I am digging in this direction. I also like the fact that there's not any sort of timetable involved with the game. Battery. You don't have to like complete a quest in like a main quest like what I'm doing, like by a certain time frame. Some of the, to my understanding, uh, like I don't want to call them mercenary quests, but there are these quests you could take. Like I've got a terminal in my ship that if I wanted to, I could take little subquests. There's just they're not even like story-driven missions. They're like kill certain number of uh, hazardous plants, or one of them is feed so many animals, and I think some of those are timed, but the main missions you can pick up and put down at your own leisure. And I like games like that. I don't like being pressured to do a quest by a certain time frame, because it no longer becomes fun for me. It becomes a job, and I play games to get away from the work mindset. Except for The Sims. The Sims, it's a different animal. But even then, I tend to like play self-employed when I do The Sims. So what I'm doing right now, there are, here we go. Within this type of crashed freighter, and there's like two types. There's one where you can explore the interior, and there's one where it's like just smashed like this. But there are cargo pods you can find, and you can loot the containers, which is what I'm trying to work towards. Trying to make sure I know where all of my escape routes are. One of the things that happens when you loot these is you get hit with a cloud of radiation. So I am trying to make sure that I don't get caught. Okay. Charge. Clean out the gunk. pod. There we go. Cloud of radiation. Excavate the escape route. What's funny is, you never know when someone might have it worse than you. Um, I told my younger brother how, I was like close to pneumonia and the flu, and I discovered that, like weeks after the fact, he and his wife had whooping cough. So, yeah, makes me feel like I had first world problems. So you never know what other people are going through. And I'm not saying that like, you shouldn't tell people, your problems, but sometimes it's good to have a little bit of perspective that, you know, you may have it bad, but others may have it worse. Well, not may. I mean, obviously you're gonna have people who do have it worse. Um, I lost my mother to cancer. Um, so obviously she had it worse than my my younger brother. But it's just it kind of puts things into perspective. Weird Al Yankovic song "First World Problems." You know,
Charging battery.
it's just
Charge complete.
you kind of, or I kind of feel as if like, you know, I don't know, like I'm an idiot by saying, yeah, I have this problem and that happened. And, my deal is like if you ask me a question, I'm gonna answer it. And it's just off the cuff reaction. I just, you know, and I'm not like trying to like go, oh, woe is me. But if you ask me, well, how are you doing? I'm not gonna go, oh, I'm doing okay. I'll tell you how I'm doing. You know, and I'm not seeking sympathy. It's just, you know, um, I try to be honest and upfront as I can. But after the fact, I'm thinking, I feel as if I'm just whining. Knowing that the person asking has it worse. All right. come later. Go in this direction. I like the fact that the scanner will tell you where these cargo pods are. And once you loot said cargo pod, it won't register. There's nothing up there. I think it's funny. You never see a factory where they make freighters. You never see where these things are manufactured. But they're just there. I think it'd be neat if there was like a you know, like a type of station where it's a freighter factory. The X series does it quite well because you'll have like stations that they'll manufacture ships, and you could see the ship being manufactured. You order like a dreadnought or whatever big class ship, um, and you'll see it as it's being produced. You tell the game, okay, I want to build a station here, and you will see the station being built. You may even have to bring in materials to further its construction. But you never see freighters being designed. You never see freighters being constructed in this game. Or you never see the facility used to make the freighters. Okay, it's up there. I have completely missed my mark. It's not just up there, it's way up there. Alright. I love finding these because all the goop you pull out of the machinery, you can end up converting into nanite clusters. Okay, any more? Yes. Okay, and I never could figure out why they have radiation in them. Ow. Action, oxygen, and ow. Okay, spare cash. Here we go. Alright, I think this is the last one. Alright, what I'm going after right now is a buried technology module. Because what I get out of those will allow me to learn new recipes. Nowhere near it. Alright. Lost track of it. There you go. Oop. Sorry, little dude. Wasn't trying to kill you. Okay. Eventually, when you get the hazmat glove, you could pick those by hand. which is very, very useful. Crap. Okay, that's where it is. Ah, there we go. All right. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Being able to get into a ship-to-ship combat. There we go. All right. Nice. Ooh, pretty color. Uh, One of the few glitches I have found in this game is sometimes I'll fall through the planet. It corrects itself, but still, it's annoying. Okay. Ooh, it's a drop pod. I was not expecting this. sodium nitrate. Giant worm. Okay, and I need a antimatter housing. I think I can make that. There we go. Alright. Now these are one-time use, so I need to think carefully. Alright, oh. There we go. Alright. I think we've got a storm coming in, too. What's that? That's, ooh, okay, color. You're always going to be in need of copper. It's one of the metals that gets converted into chromatic metal, which is used quite extensively. Can't make the key card. I need to open that just yet. Okay. There's a Star Wars game, a massive multiplayer game. Um, where one of the things you could do is mine um, on any planet. What was bad about the game in that respect was that the minerals were randomly generated, and they were always in very short supply. Well, not very short supply, but limited supply. And you might find like a vein of copper, but it's given a random name to it, like a variant. And when that variant ran out, anything made, and you can make any piece of equipment, any ship, using the minerals you've mined. But if that material runs out, then eventually you're going to need to make another copy of the equipment you've made. So, and using said equipment would wear it down. So, you were always constantly having to find resources. Um, and for me, if I'm going to make a piece of equipment, I understand that, okay, you have general wear and tear. I understand that. But iron is iron, wherever you go. So I shouldn't have to rebuild. Well, even if, okay, take into account that, okay, you have different variants of iron. Okay, we'll go with game logic with that. But if, say, a component breaks down inside this, we'll say a blaster. Okay. Um, Even if, say, a component breaks in this blaster, I should be able to make that component, and as different components within the blaster wears down, use an equivalent to its original material to make said uh, component. But the game kind of forced you to remake the entire blaster, um, because said material ran out. I always thought that was kind of cheap on the game's part. But that's just my take. Okay, why isn't it letting me? There you go. All right. Okay, and record where we are at. Oh, we're back here. I did not realize that. Okay, so now gotta return to space. What is this location? Okay, this is research. No, that's research entity. What is this? It's an observatory. Ooh, that's a first. All right. So, process of elimination. Oh, I love these pattern recognitions. All right. So, the 2 is going to the left. So the next number, the 2 is going to be the second from the left. The 7 is going to be third from the left. All right. So basically, all the numbers are shifting to the left. So this would have to be, well, except for 8. 8's shifting to the right, but still, this is the right. It's the next pattern. I've always been good about pattern recognition. But this is like stupid easy. Okay, let's see, down here, I think requires, okay. Let's see, what do I need to make? I need cadmium. Okay. And cadmium I can't get just yet. Okay, and see if there's anything worth grabbing around here. Not really. Our freighters will bring into space. Okay, so it's warning me. To find. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Sorry, I had to test to see if my sound is doing okay. Um, all right, so basically what just happened, we received a signal that's given us coordinates that will take us to a pirate uh, system. Ah. don't think I can capture the ship. Yeah, I can't. Well, considering I'm out in the middle of space, yeah. Alright. And we're back to a regularly scheduled program. Here we go. Okay, we got that. Got that. Got that. And oh, no wonder. Okay, and I'd love to see a planet like, say, Bespin. Alright. Nice. Okay. Okay, so all right, we've got a translator. I never could figure out why freighters popping into space rocks your ship like that. You're out in vacuum. And yeah. Okay. Ow. You just had to park it right in the middle of an asteroid field. Lag the game. Okay, and what's with this? Not yet. Grab that. Okay, and okay, good. Okay, want that. What I'm doing is I'm converting all this into nanite clusters, which is a currency in the game. So I can learn recipes and stuff in things. wish there was a way to upgrade the refiners to make them run faster. Like to like overclock them almost. Alright, and I'll be coming back for what that makes. I don't expect everyone to just sit here and watch something process for 6 minutes. Alright. Let's see. Alright, let's see what this guy has to sell. Oh, good. That's always fun. Alright, so he's needing nanite clusters. Alright, your riches. Alright, this is what I was looking for. Okay. Anything else I could use? Okay. I'm gonna go after those next. Let's see. No, no, I'm not ready for those yet. I can buy those if I know where to go. Okay, well, let's check this guy out. Alright, let's learn how to make plants. This guy. Yeah, this is the guy. Okay. All right. Is there anything in here? Nope. I'm not gonna have a lot. Well, maybe. Okay, good. I can make those. All right. And I love the fact how players are always willing to help other players. It's been said that the No Man's Sky community is one of the most polite uh, communities um, in the gaming environment. I haven't actually interacted enough to corroborate that, but uh, it's kind of neat to hear. All right. Okay, we're gonna do this. I hate how you have to talk to this guy every time you want to purchase something from him. All right. So we're trying to grab. It's not that I hate interacting with this guy. It's just you have to go through the whole spiel every time you want to talk to him. Uh, let's do that. Okay, 150 left. Uh, hmm. All right, I'll just do that. Okay. And I think we're done here. I always thought it was funny how you have this massive sphere of a station appearing, and you're the only one who enters it. I mean, where the system you're in is concerned. All right. So what it's basically saying is, uh, go around and visit the different locations. All right. Let's see. Station. It's this way. Whoops. Well, apparently I've forgotten how to stairs. Okay. And for that... let's see. What am I needing? Chromatic metal. I need 25. Okay. So, I need 50. I'm trying to make a device on my ship that will automatically recharge the launcher. That will come in pretty handy. Okay, right. How many? Complete sentences. I have forgotten how to. Alright, which means we're going to need another 25. Who knew that making antimatter would be so easy? Ah, okay. What do we need? Two wirings, two looms. What did I just purchase? I didn't purchase anything. Now I purchased something. Alright, I need two solar mirrors. Okay. here. Okay. One more location. Okay. Well, I'm not finding it. Let's see. What was my last station? Okay. All right. And one more check. Because sometimes their inventory will shift. And looks like that's a no. Okay. In the meantime, let's process all that. Completely forgot I was carrying some stuff I was going to sell. Let's see. Oh, I left it back at home. Okay, I want that. Let's drop that off right now. Drop that off right now. Sell that. Sell that. Drop that off. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, that gives me some stuff. That gives me. Okay, how are we doing over here? Alright. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it here for the night. I enjoyed playing it. I enjoyed playing for you, the audience, and I hope to play more next Sunday. On that note, I hope you all have a wonderful night. Stay safe, be happy, and I'll see you next time.